The Steel Orchid, a Madripoor adventure. Chapter 1, The Arrival. In the bustling port city of Madripoor, known for its neon-soaked skyline and a thriving mix of industry and intrigue, Keiko Watanabe, a humanoid robotics visionary, stepped off the private ferry. The CEO of Steel Orchid Robotics, Keiko had carved a reputation for blending cutting-edge AI with elegant, humanoid designs. Steel Orchid's machines were prized not only for their utility but also for their artistry, a blend of Japanese minimalism and engineering perfection. Keiko wasn't alone. Her team included Dr. Rafael Rafe de Soto, an eccentric semiconductor expert from Brazil, and Amara Singh, an ambitious logistics specialist from Singapore. Their mission? Secure a foothold in Madripoor by acquiring the robotics factory at 1212 WaterFab Blvd. Chapter 2, The Factory with a Story. The factory, sitting at the edge of Madripoor's industrial sector, had a history of producing precision components for humanoid robotics. With 71,706 square feet, it was compact but efficient. Its net operating income, NOI, of $3,363,167 made it a tempting asset. Keiko reviewed the factory's details as they arrived at the gates. Cap rate, 10%, showed a property value of $33,631,670, a competitive valuation in Madripoor's market. Occupancy rate, 100%, a fully operational facility meant no downtime in revenue. Tenant credit quality, A, reliable tenants suggested steady cash flow. The property's 8-year lease expiration schedule was manageable, allowing Steel Orchid time to decide on renewing contracts or pivoting production. Amara pointed to a subtle discrepancy. Market rent is $46.89/SF, but in-place rent is $45.50 per square feet. We can increase rents over time to match the market. Keiko nodded. We'll have room to grow. Chapter 3, The Ghosts of Dustless Fabrication. Inside, the factory was a marvel of engineering. Inspired by Taiwan's semiconductor megafactories, it had been outfitted with advanced photolithography machines for wafer processing, a process vital for building Steel Orchid's neural processing units. Rafe, inspecting the dustless fabrication facility, was in awe. This is almost as clean as Micron's. Automation here could optimize delivery efficiency even further if we integrate Steel Orchid's neural processors. Keiko smiled. Rafe's excitement was palpably. His passion for fabrication had been honed in Taiwan, where he had worked alongside giants in the semiconductor industry. Chapter 4, The Numbers Game. Back at their hotel, Amara outlined the financials. Effective gross income, IG, $4,804,524. Operating expense ratio, OR, 30%, translating to $1,441,357 in operating costs. Debt service coverage ratio, DSCR, 1.40, showing that income sufficiently covered loan obligations. This DSCR is lower than I'd like, Amara admitted, but it's acceptable given the property's stability. Keiko glanced at the loan-to-value ratio, LTV, of 65%, understanding the importance of leveraging financing without overcommitting. At least the power broker score is 4 stars, she quipped. That's the only rating system I trust in Madripoor. Chapter 5, Environmental Shadows. While Rafe praised the factory's $50,250,000 replacement cost, he raised a concern. Chip production is energy-intensive. We need to mitigate environmental impacts. Drawing from his experience in Taiwan, Rafe suggested installing monitoring systems like those used in remote operations centers. These would optimize energy usage while ensuring precision in fabrication. Keiko agreed. Sustainability isn't just ethical, it's strategic. It builds trust with stakeholders. Chapter 6, The Investment Arc. Steel Orchid's analysis revealed the factory's financial highlights. Internal rate of return, IRR, 11%, signaling a strong long-term investment. Net present value, NPV, $1,850,000, indicating the acquisition's profitability after initial costs. Cash-on-cash return, 8%, a respectable figure that assured their investors. Rafe joked, if Madripoor had a humanoid Olympics, this place would be our gold medalist. Amara chuckled. And we'd make sure the medals were minted in-house. Chapter 7, The Negotiation. As negotiations unfolded, Keiko faced Marcus Liang, Madripoor's shrewd real estate magnate. Liang praised the property condition assessment, good, but pointed out the market vacancy rate, 7%, as a concern. Keiko countered with the factory's pristine tenant record and robust equipment. It's not just a factory, it's a turnkey opportunity to reshape robotics in Madripoor. Marcus smirked. I like your vision, Watanabe. Let's make a deal. Chapter 8, The Steel Orchid Blooms. With the acquisition finalized, Steel Orchid set to work. The factory's efficient setup, inspired by Taiwan's ceaseless innovation, became the cornerstone of a new era. The team optimized every KPI, raising rents to market levels, enhancing sustainability, and integrating advanced robotics for photolithography and chip production. Keiko reflected on their success. This isn't just about numbers. It's about creating a future where humanity and robotics thrive together. Amara replied, and it all started with a factory in Madripoor. Rafe grinned, holding up a freshly fabricated microchip. And a little bit of magic from Taiwan's dustless wonders. The end. Chapter 9, The Ghosts of Madripoor. Keiko Watanabe's optimism over Steel Orchid's new acquisition began to wane as whispers of Madripoor's underworld reached her ears. While Steel Orchid Robotics was positioning itself as the epitome of cutting-edge humanoid robotics, Madripoor's infamous subterranean network of the Phantom Syndicator was rumored to have its eyes on their operation. Amara Singh, typically pragmatic, had picked up on odd discrepancies in the factory's energy usage reports. Keiko, look at this. Our energy consumption spikes at night. I triple-checked the automated systems. It's not us. Sabotage? Keiko asked, concern darkening her expression. Rafe added, if it's sabotage, it's subtle. The energy patterns match a broken bar chip production. But we haven't initiated any after-hours runs. Keiko clenched her fists. We need answers. Villains from the shadows. The trio's investigation led them to Madripoor's infamous underbelly, a place where neon lights gave way to shadowy alleys and whispered deals. Enter Soren Cade, a ruthless technocrat with ties to Madripoor's smuggling rings. Soren was as brilliant as he was unscrupulous, his personal quest to dominate the robotics market fueled by a chip on his shoulder from being ousted from Micron Technology years ago. Soren wasn't alone. By his side was Ling Zhen, a rogue programmer who once worked in Taiwan's semiconductor industry. Ling's expertise in photolithography and wafer processing rivaled Rafe's, but her skills were now employed to create synthetic neural networks capable of bypassing AI ethical safeguards. Their goal? To exploit the Steel Orchid factory's advanced systems for their covert operation of manufacturing illegal AI cores for humanoid robots used in underground combat rings across Asia. Chapter 10, The First Strike. A late-night visit to the factory revealed an intruder. Amara, armed with nothing but a flashlight and her nerve, stumbled upon a masked figure downloading data from the central AI processor. Before she could call for help, the figure agile and terrifyingly ancient darted away, leaving a chilling message on the central monitor. Madripoor's roots are deep. Tread lightly, Watanabe. The breach rattled Keiko. This is personal, she muttered. Amara disagreed. This isn't about us. This is about what we're building. They want it. Chapter 11, Twists in the Circuitry. Rafe's research revealed a startling twist. The energy discrepancies weren't just theft, they were masking a larger issue. They're replicating our neural processes in real time. That's why the spikes match our chip production, he explained. Keiko's mind raced. If they're making clones of our processors, they could undermine our entire market. And worse, they could weaponize them. Amara's jaw tightened. Then we stop them. But first, we find out who's helping them. The double agent. The plot thickened as Keiko uncovered a betrayal within her team. A seemingly loyal engineer, Taro Ishida, had been leaking production blueprints to Soren. Ishida had been coerced, his family held hostage by the Phantom Syndicate. I didn't have a choice, Ishida pleaded as Keiko confronted him. Keiko's voice was ice. You always have a choice. And now we have one too. Amara, ever the strategist, proposed using Ishida as a double agent. If they think he's still working for them, we can feed them false data. Chapter 12, Showdown in Madripoor. The final confrontation unfolded in a hidden warehouse deep within Madripoor's industrial zone. Keiko, Rafe, and Amara set a trap with Ishida's reluctant help. They delivered an upgraded neural processor prototype, embedded with a self-destruct protocol. Ling Zhen, suspicious of the sudden generosity, initiated a scanner but not before Rafe's sabotage activated. A blinding burst of EMP fried the illegal processors and disrupted their systems. Keiko faced Soren as the factory's automated systems neutralized his guards. You underestimated us, she said coldly. Soren smirked even in defeat. This isn't over, Watanabe. Madripoor doesn't forget. Chapter 13, New Beginnings. With the threat neutralized, Steel Orchid regained control of its operations. Keiko instituted new security measures, and Rafe developed a proprietary encryption system for their processors, ensuring no one could replicate their technology again. But the experience had changed them. Keiko realized that her idealistic vision needed to be tempered with pragmatism. She vowed to never underestimate the depths of Madripoor's complexities. Amara grew into a formidable leader, her logistics expertise now extending to counterintelligence. Rafe embraced his past in Taiwan, using lessons from both success and failure to fortify Steel Orchid's future. Their work wasn't just about creating robots, it was about creating resilience in their systems, their team, and themselves. Epilogue. In the shadows of Madripoor, Soren Cade licked his wounds. Let them celebrate, he told Ling Zhen. Steel Orchid is strong, but their humanity is their weakness. Ling's eyes gleamed. Next time, we won't just infiltrate. We'll rewrite their code. And so, the Steel Orchid bloomed, but in Madripoor, the roots of intrigue ran deeper than anyone could have imagined.